2024 was yet another scintillating year for GPVWC Superlights, and heading into 2025 it looks like the story will remain the same. The second rung on the GPVWC career ladder offers some of the most incredible action you will find anywhere in the world of sim racing, with fantastic drivers battling it out not just for glory, but to prove themselves worthy of propelling themselves up to the very top and into Super League. Last year we saw more than our fair share of drama as Frenchman Alex Lahoe proved all of his doubters wrong and romped his way to the title, but we find ourselves in pastures new this season as many of the Superlights old guard find themselves moving up to Super League this year. With a wonderful combination of fresh and experienced faces on the grid, it's anyone's guess who will be hot and who will be not heading into 2025. So why don't we familiarise ourselves with the grid before we get things rolling? Prix North Motorsports. Carter McColeman's Canadian squad was 4th last season after a trio of victories from David Feidock at Imola, Austria and the United States. It's all change in the driver lineup for 2025, however, as race winner Jan Dragoon is joined by newcomer Norbert Jakob. Czech driver Dragoon had his strongest showing yet in 2024 with Drag Racing, scoring 4 second places before finally taking a breakthrough win in Superlights with a blistering performance in the wet at Interlagos. Now moving over to True North, expect his strong form to continue. Hungary's Jakob joins the GPV ladder for the first time this season, but it's endurance racing where he's made a name for himself with regular pole positions and victories for the Go Team Racing Hypercar squad in the Virtual Endurance Championship. Drag Racing. Returning for their 6th season in Superlights, Ben Willis's Welsh outfit was 5th last year, just 7 points behind True North. Dutchman Tom van der Voort, definitely not Vincent, stays on with the team for a 4th season and is joined by 2015 Super League champion Filip Puška. Puška endured a brutal Super League season last year with Zortax Racing, retiring 9 times and scoring just 3 points at one race in Japan. The German has decided to go down to the 2nd tier this season and hopes to finally recapture his winning form with Drake. Van der Voort enjoyed his strongest campaign in GPVWC yet in Superlights last year, ending 2024 16th in the standings with 6 points finishes, including a first ever podium after surviving the melee at the first corner in Imola. More consistency is needed from the Dutchman though if he wants to break into the top 10. TTF Racing. Tyrone Frith brings the London-based TTF squad back for a 7th season in Superlights. Last season they equalled their best finish of 7th in the team's table. Podium finisher Jan Sikora sticks with the team for a 2nd full season and is joined by Poland's Maciej Piszkan. Sikora was 8th in the driver's standings last season after 9 top 10 finishes, including a first ever podium in the Brazil finale. Consistently a threat for the higher points placing positions, expect the Czech driver to break into the top 3 multiple times in 2025. Piszkan scored points 8 times on his way to 17th in the driver's standings in 2024. There were some strong performances, but bad luck limited his final score. Now switching to TTF, could the Pole have a breakthrough sophomore season in Superlights? Fusion Racing. Jack Sharman's Fusion Racing embark on their 4th Superlights campaign this season. Last year, they narrowly beat the Chaos team to a best ever 8th place finish in the Constructors table, and they are retaining their consistent point scoring lineup of Canada's Maxime Bulio and the Netherlands' Remco de Jeu. Bulio was in the points in all but 1 round last season on his way to 12th in the championship, but struggled to break into the top 10 until the final 2 rounds of the season, ending on a best result of 6th in Brazil. He'll be hoping to build up on a promising rookie campaign this year. De Jeu embarks on a 3rd campaign with Fusion in 2024. Last season was his best year yet, the high peaks being his 5th in Imola and a very strong performance in Singapore. Very experienced and very consistent, the Dutchman could surprise people once again this season. Alpha Sierra Sim Racing. The 2023 FS2 champions Alpha Sierra endured a tricky Superlights debut last year as they squeezed their way into 10th place in the Constructors, just 8 points ahead of the Gallery 82 team. Their driver lineup remains the same, as promising Ukrainian driver Dominik Koroshavin is once more partnered by Chris Gitsov. Gallery 82 Motorsports. 2024 was a difficult season for Niels Tiemann's Dutch team as they slipped down to 11th in the standings. Alexander Oates stays in the gallery for a third season, however, and is joined once again by fellow Pole Michel Galka. Oates started the season strong in 2024 with a top 6 in Melbourne, but he would only finish in the top 10 2 more times, as 7 retirements led him to finish 18th in the standings. After a tough season, he needs to regain his consistency and rebuild his momentum for 2025. Galka had an up and down first full season in Superlights last year. He sneaked into the points on 7 different occasions but had some difficult rounds and was disqualified in Spa after doing the entire final lap without his front wing. He'll be hoping to break into the top 10 this season. PZZW Racing Team. Alexander Oates' Polish outfit propped up the rear of the points table in 2024 after 2 difficult seasons in Superlights. Rolling the dice in a bit to turn things around, they've gone for relative newcomers in David Krupa and Matthias Canapino for their drivers in 2025. 6th in the 2019 FS2 points table, Polish driver Krupa drove for the team in the wet finale in Brazil, but retired early on. With him otherwise off the grid since 2020, he has a lot of catching up to do this year. Argentinian Canapino returns to Superlights for the first time since subbing in for Neptune Sim Racing in 2021. He also made an appearance in Formula Sprint 1 for Kings Racing at Imola last year, but unfortunately he had less than a clean run. Now with a full season shot with PZZW, can Canapino add to his single points finish in Superlights? Netrex GP. Moving up to Superlights this season is the Italian Netrex GP team, who missed out on the FS1 team's title last season by just 21 points. Veteran Harry Smith moves up with the team to Superlights and is joined by newcomer Jose Soriano. Smith had a strong season in 2024, taking 5 podium places and was in the points in all but 2 races on his way to 6th in the championship. With the team's title slipping through his fingers, expect the Englishman to be fired up in the 2nd tier and a regular fixture in the points once more. Soriano makes his debut in the GPVWC career ladder with Netrex this season. Bringing endurance racing experience with him from Assetto Corsa, the Spaniard could make a strong first impression in Superlights this season. Alpha Delta Racing. 6th in Formula Sprint 1 in 2024, the Canadian Alpha Delta squad progresses up to Superlights after 3 seasons in the 3rd tier. Both drivers are retained in 2025, with Italian duo Federico Russo and Mirko Lucchini teaming up once more. Russo scored 20 points finishes last season on his way to a best ever 10th place in the FS1 drivers standings. The high point was a 4th place in Canada, and with 2 seasons of Super League under his belt, he's about as prepared for Superlights as he can be. Lucchini was 9th in the 2024 standings, just ahead of his teammate Russo after scoring points 22 times across the year. His best result last season was also 4th in Canada, this time in the reverse grid race. Inseparable from his teammate Russo, will he get the upper hand on him again this time? Kings Racing. Scott Mitchell-Marm's yellow and blue Kings Racing team were 10th last season in FS1, but their season never really got going until Loic Mounier arrived and banked 2 victories in Monza and at the Circuit of the Americas. Mitchell-Marm returns to driving duties once again this year and is joined by FS2 champion and his brother, Luke Mitchell. Scott was only able to attend 12 races in 2024, scoring points in half of them. With the Kings team rapidly progressing up the career ladder, he has shown the pace needed to get decent results under his belt, but availability remains a big question mark for him. His sibling Luke has had better attendance and results over the last few years, following up his 2023 FS2 crown with a solid campaign for Lunark in FS1, where he scored points 17 times on his way to 16th in the championship. While he did have some bad luck, he was rarely ever off the pace and did take a fantastic podium in Austria. He also subbed in Superlights last season, taking a career best 7th for Valley Esports in Canada. Lunark, 9th in the FS1 Championship, 2 seasons in a row the Lunark team is promoted to Superlights for their 3rd GPV campaign. Reigning FS1 champion Mike Quint joins the English squad and is partnered by returnee Daniel Herlock. Dutchman Quint had a brilliant run to the FS1 title last year with Malta Force GP, taking 18 podiums, including 4 wins in Australia, Canada, Spain and Germany. Now returning to Superlights for the first time since his inconsistent 2020 campaign with TCS Off Racing, he's a much more complete driver this time around. Herlock returns to GPV for the first time since 2020. A race winner in FS2, he has just 2 Superlights round under his belt with a best finish of 12th, and will be looking to quickly get back up to speed with Lunark this year. Team Rookie Monsters, 12th in last year's FS1 Championship after 5 seasons away. R-Factor 2 endurance mainstays Rookie Monsters had a difficult first half of the season, but started to get things together towards the end. They move up to Superlights with the same lineup of 2024, with German Robin Merling and Scotsman Daniel Scott behind the wheel. Merling achieved 17 points finishes in his rookie season, including a podium in the feature race at Spa, launching him up to 15th in the Drivers' Championship. Some bad luck creeped in with 6 retirements, but overall Merling was a major asset to the Rookie Monsters team. With a cameo drive for Rotor Formula in the Superlights finale in Brazil last year, yielding 14th place, expect more points to follow in 2025. Scott endured a troubled start to last season, retiring 10 times from the first 11 events before going on a run of points finishes in Monza, Singapore and Brazil, where he scored his first top 10 finish in GPVWC. With some bold racecraft shown throughout the season, Scott hopes to bring his learnings with him into Superlights. KV86 Powerhouse. The reigning FS2 Teams champions leap up to Superlights for this season, as Christian Vazdar's Croatian team retains its successful 2024 driver lineup of Patrick Magnussen and Noah Tuomela. Magnussen was runner-up to eventual FS2 champion Matthews Micah last year, taking 7 wins and 6 other podiums. The Icelandic driver also had some strong showings subbing in for HGP in FS1, narrowly missing out on a podium in Hockenheim and Spa. Superlights will be Magnussen's toughest challenge yet, but it's one he is relishing. Finland's Tuomela took 4 podiums in 2024, including a win at Suzuka. However, he got disqualified in Monza after this manoeuvre on Magnus Ockenhaug, and then took the rest of the season off. Very rapid, Tuomela will be hoping to put last season behind him as he debuts in Superlights. Optimal Esports. Second in the FS2 Teams Championship last season after missing out to KV86. Optimal follows their rivals up the ladder this season, and team owner Remco de Jeu has hired Super League racer Ruven Machedi and Superlights podium finisher Joseph Herlock to lead their charge in 2025. German Machedi had a sporadic campaign in GPVWC last year, as his Super League season with Green Stripes was cut short due to technical issues. He did, however, have some starring drives for Fusion in Superlights, scoring 4th places at both Silverstone and in the United States. He competed for Optimal in the FSR World Championship with a best result of 9th in Imola last year. With big potential at a team he is extremely familiar with, expect him to be strong this season. Englishman Joe Herlock had his best Superlight season to date with Valet Esports last year, taking 2 podiums and 8 other points finishes on his way to 7th in the Drivers' Championship. If he can shake off some of his bad luck, he could find himself on the podium, perhaps even on the top step, a lot more often. Brem GP. The final team on the entry list is the all-new Brem GP outfit. Team owner Cas Rietveld leads the driving lineup and is joined by the experienced Tom Satherley. Former FSR president and 2019 Academy champion Cas Rietveld returns to Superlights after a couple of seasons away. The Dutchman has retired 12 times from 15 starts here in the past, something he'll be looking to rectify this time around as he hopes to push Brem to glory in its debut season. Satherley drove in FS1 with MS Performance last season and suffered a horrendous run of misfortune with 7 retirements, as anything that could go wrong for him did go wrong. The Kiwi's pace still shone through though, and he took a podium at Silverstone along with victory at Monza. There we are then, Superlights in 2025. The drivers, the teams, everyone ready and raring to go as we wait for the lights to go out in Australia to get our season underway. You can join myself, Ross McIntyre, with Carlos Martin alongside me, bringing you all of the action on Tuesday nights from the best series on the GPVWC Career Ladder.
It has been a very long while since the last time we have seen Superlights action, 4 months, and during that time many drivers and teams have been waiting and highly eager for Superlights to return, and we are back for the opening round of what is the 7th season of the GPVWC Superlights Championship. Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome here to the season opener of the Superlights. The 2025 season starts here in shiny Melbourne, Australia. After a long break, the anticipation is at an extraordinarily high. With changes all around the grid from returning teams to new ones, it is certainly going to be interesting to see what the season will bring for us today. Joining alongside me here for the coverage is broadcast director Fabian Jungbluth. Alongside with me with commentary is Carlos Martin. Hello, Carlos.
Hello, Amir. Nice to have you here. First of all, I want to send big energy to Ross, who cannot be here today. So we send him good regards to him from the commentary box. And yeah, I'm super excited for the race that is upcoming now. And of course, firstly, the qualifying. And I can't wait because this grid order will be no similar in the upcoming races once the upgrades are upcoming. This is the only race in the calendar which all the cars will be equal for everyone. So this is a special one in the normality that it is within the mod. So it is a very exciting prospect to see today. Who are you looking for today?
There's honestly something very special about the first round of the Superlights here because it sets that momentum a lot for a lot of these drivers and for the teams. Fun fact, with all but one of the race winners here that won the first race of the Superlights race, they would go on to clinch the Drivers' Championship. So surely we're going to have a quick look around for the calendar to see for the 16 races that will be ahead of us for the 2025 season. First, starting off in Australia, it's the 5th time in this series history that Albert Park starts the Superlights today. After this race in 2 weeks' time, we'll head over to Istanbul Park as it returns to the calendar for the first time since 2020 to host round 2. Afterwards, it's over to Asia for Suzuka, then Jeddah, and then Barcelona will host the 5th round before traveling to North America for Indianapolis. Then afterwards, we'll have our sprint break, and then we'll stay in North America with Montreal. Will get us going again for the 6th round, and then we head over back to Europe, with Silverstone being the first, then Nürburgring for the German Grand Prix, Spa-Francorchamps, and then the Hungaroring. After that, we have our summer break in the series, and then after Hungary, it returns to the Temple of Speed in Monza. That will be exciting for what the drivers will have to see in return. After that, it's a final push to the finale with the races in Mexico City, Marina Bay, and Sao Paulo, with the final race concluding under the floodlights in Yas Marina.
Yeah, this is a long calendar, like every year. It is 16 races, and with the with the spring break and with the summer break, especially the spring break will determine a lot which path every team is heading with the upgrades. I think one of the most interesting or different ones compared to previous years is probably the United States Grand Prix with this special layout that the GPVWC is preparing for it. So I can't really wait for it. And it looks like also like a big mix of high downforce tracks and low drag tracks. So it will be very important for the teams which path they are deciding on the car upgrades. With all this said, yeah,
it's going to be a very exciting calendar ahead of us, absolutely for sure, with, we've talked about before with the Australian Grand Prix really setting the momentum. However, Turkish Grand Prix has been a new track. It haven't raced there again since 2020. So it's going to be interesting to see with a lot of these drivers, some of them which are new, to see how they'll be able to handle the new challenges of Turkey. But as you said before, with Indianapolis and having that layout as well, that's going to be very crucial because it is nearly midpoint for the season, still carrying through that momentum, Carlos, I must say.
Yeah, especially how the upgrades work is almost like a specific track that you will bring upgrades there. So it's like a special package. And I think the last thing we have to speak about are more or less the PST results. There have been a variety of teams that were strong in the preseason test results, which were Kings, Lunark, and Netrex topping at Baku. So these three teams were the teams that set the pace in the preseason test. But we will see what it shows here today, because I think it has nothing to do. Teams are still testing how things are going, how the tires are lasting and everything. Not all the teams are completely focused on what a qualifying run would look like in this test, because some teams are just willing to save money to take care of their finances during the test. As we see here right now, Tom Sutherland going for a lap. As we see a little drift out of the last section of the track, looks like he has a bit more top speed than the rest by the looks of it of Sector 2, and he closes the lap with a 17.57, which is a super competitive lap time already for a first attempt. Let's just remind the spectators that the fastest lap time in practice was done by Filip Puška with a 17.4. So a 17.57 is already very fast, and followed by Jose Soriano and Filip Puška itself, and then Norbert Jaka. Ooh, as we see a big crash by Sikora, and this is big because he cannot return to the pit lane. I think engine is completely dead. He's not moving, so yeah, that's qualifying over for Jan Sikora.
That's huge. The podium sitter from last season is out of qualifying. And wow, that is absolutely massive. That's not exactly the kind of start that TDF Racing would have wanted. And as you mentioned before, it's just once you've crashed, that's it, over and done. But sadly, as you mentioned before, really strong time with him already early on in just the first few minutes of qualifying here. And you can just see everyone's so pushing off as Alexander Rogoza going a bit off track through turn 11. That corner is going to be really vital to see how much that they can push without, completely unsettling the car. Very crucial here.
Yeah, this is crucial here to keep the car within the track limits. There was a lot of debate before the season started about what those track limits were looking like. And as we see, Rogoza just extended and goes straight to the pit lane. As we see now, Jack Nichols just putting a lap together. Is not the greatest of lap times, as he already is 1.5 seconds behind the fastest lap time. And we will see what lap time he closes. He closes at 19.8, which puts him in a P19 for now. I'm very sure he will have more attempts and more opportunities to improve his lap time right now. And just a quick recap in the qualifying. What do we have right now? We have the top 10. We have, as we predicted, many of the commentators and many teams and many managers. True North is up there in 4th and 6th, and so that places them in contention for the pole and everything. That was nothing not to be expected. And then we have Robin Mulling, which is in P7. Is a super good performance so far by the driver from Rookie Monsters. And Robin has been doing great results in FS1. Not all the races were the best for him, but it looks like this car is more adapting to his style rather than the FS1 car was. And this is so far a great performance by him, and undoubtedly he has the chance to actually improve further. And let's see how it goes for the rest of the qualifying.
Absolutely, finished 15th in Formula Sprint 1, and the fact that he's now coming here into the Superlights in 7th already is a really huge mile mark for him, as the optional esports driver of Josef Herlock would go across the line, gets himself up into P3, which is a really good improvement there from the Englishman.
Yeah, that's a great improvement, P3. This is exactly what we expect from Optiminal Esports. And as the other part that is contending for the championship. And right now, everything is pretty tight at the front. We have 3 clear front runners right now, and Filip Puška might join them anytime soon. We see Jan Dragun with his brand new team, True North Motorsports. He transferred from Drake to True North Motorsports, and for me personally, he is the favorite to win the championship, currently now sitting in P7, just pushing the limits. Looks like this True North car yet is not at his best shape. Let's see what lap time he's able to set right now. It will be somewhere in the 18.7, I think. Yeah, 18.74, which places P5 2 positions improvement. This is extremely tight. We have 6 drivers in 2/10, which is more or less what we can expect. We see Harry Smith also finishing the lap, also improving right now in P8, and then he places himself P1. Harry Smith P1 with the 17.47, and this is fantastic for the Networks GP team, which is making debut here in Superlights. We see also David Kupra, also very strong here, the PZZW driver, the Polish driver from Warsaw, trying to close the lap right now. He had not the amazing last section of the track, and he is in a P10. Yeah, we could see there, right, Amir, that the last section was not the greatest for David.
No, absolutely not. It's just those final few corners that you really need to keep your car stable on. But Harry Smith, though, well, about 1/10, though, almost to try and clinch that provisional pole. He'll surely be very happy with that, being off Satterley for it, and his teammate in Jose as well.
Yeah, that's a fantastic result, and well, but there's still so much time to go in the qualifying. There's still 6 minutes 50 seconds. Oh my queen, no! Oh my god, that's heavy! Oh no! Oh no, the FS1 champion in the wall, and that's quali over. P26 for Mike Quinn. Yeah, there's no more option for him. Oh wow, that's a shocker.
That's huge. My god, that was so violent for qualifying as well, with the wheel gone. And that is surely going to put a halt to his momentum that he had from the Formula Sprint 1 Championship. As Robert Mulling goes across the line, it is a bit of an improvement for him, but it's still only just P8 for Robin.
Yeah, well, this is so far so good. It looks like his third sector is not as strong as the Harry Smith one. So therefore, it suggests maybe that they are a bit less loaded in wings. which might help them in the race. This is a race where the DRS is very heavy, and if you are leading the pack or you want to overtake, having less wings can actually help the rookie Monsters driver. Actually, I didn't check yet the top speeds, but it looks like I'm checking right now. The lowest top speed is Moritz Krop with 317.8. And I don't see like outstanding top speed from Ruben. He does have 2 kph more, but it is not like a huge difference. We see Filip Puška also improving his lap times, currently about 1/10 off from Harry Smith. He will need to pull an amazing sector 3, and losing the rear like this is not what he needs right now to actually improve his lap time. Then he's closing the lap right now. He will be an improvement, but not the greatest one. Let's see where this places him. He closes the lap in 17.66, and it places him P4 right now, which is an amazing position to start the race and contend for the race victory.
The only person on the grid here that has been a Super League champion in 2015, Filip Puška, has done a really good show of form here upon his debut here in the Superlights. As Jan Dragoon, tension towards the back towards him. He's also the only driver on the grid that's actually won the race. As Herlock, though, he gets himself up into provisional pole. That is absolutely huge. 300ths faster than Harry Smith.
Yeah, that's what we can expect from Optiminal. This is the reason why they are considered by the whole grid, and these upcoming teams are very strong. As we see Jan Dragoon also coming for pole. He's just matching completely Joseph Horlock, and he's gonna finish the lap. It's not looking amazing in the last section, lacking a bit of rear grip. Opens the DRS for crossing the finishing line, and this puts him in P6. P6, not enough. He will have another chance. Oof, it will be very tight for him to have another chance. As we see Matias Canapino from Argentina just trying to close another lap. Currently sitting in P12, just right behind his teammate. David Kurpa, although the gap between him and his teammate is quite big right now, 2.5 tenths, so surely he can improve. Right now, placing him. Ooh, this car is shaking so much. It's not stable at all. Going wide, heading to pit lane, because if you pit right now, you will have the chance to do another lap. Not happy enough with his performance so far.
Absolutely squirmy coming out of turn 13 and 14 from Matthias. He's, as you said, the Argentinian will definitely have to go for another lap as well. Surely he will not be happy with just P13. He knows he can go faster, and it has shown that he has gone a bit faster. The Alpacera driver of Victor Borelli, he's also the Swede driver, is in the replacement for one of the main ones. He's actually out. I think he's going to start for his flying lap now with just under 3 minutes left to go. Still a lot of positions to play for here, Carlos.
Yeah, probably he did the test for Alpha Sierra, and that's why he joined right now. But I'm speculating, I'm not entirely sure about it. And probably will win at least a pair of positions, because so many drivers are right now sitting in the pit lane after crashing. And we can see Sikora, Maxime Bulio, he's still in the pit lane, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Maxime. And we see also Remco very far down in the grid. That's surprising for me. As we see Victor Borli starting the lap right now. You can see keeping the track within the track limits, also pushing it, touching the yellow lines is important to have momentum through the exit of the corners. Breaking into turn 3, losing the rear so much. This is not the greatest. This car really needs a stable rear end when you are entering the corners right now. Finishing sector 1. Let's see where the lap time sets him. Sets him 7.5 tenths behind Joseph Horlock, so that's a really big gap. So maybe he's aiming to be P27 right now, I would say. Now finishing sector 2 now for Victor Borli. Sorry for that. 8 tenths now, well, about 9 tenths off from Joseph Horlock. Maybe it's a bit better than what I expected, but definitely in the P20, P25 range right now. Not so confident here with the braking. We could see it not using the full track. Heading into one of the fastest corners on the track, the right-handed, so beautiful right-hander, I love it. Heading into 2 very slow corners, and here really important, the traction on it. Opening the DRS to finishing the lap right now in the position P25. P25 for Victor Worley ahead of Matheus from Pishan, which is a surprising position as well for Pishan. So we see Cass Ritter also improving, very fast lap time from the Brem GP driver. It's not surprising at all seeing where Tom Sutherley is, using the whole track from yellow line to yellow line on outside, inside, outside. Good cornering speed here, and now important to keep it stable, have good corner speed. Oh, not the greatest stability there. He went a bit wide in the apex, opening the DRS to close the lap in position. P11, yeah, P11, yeah, it was not looking the greatest there. So we see Harry Smith, I think he had a cut because it didn't take his...
He's going to try again, though. He's definitely going to reach the finish line, though, I think, before the checkered flag drops. He is. Yeah, he is. So he's got one more chance now to make that pole position onto Herlock. He knows he's capable of it because he went purple in the first sector. Now with Pushka, now the checkered flag has dropped. What can he muster? He's gone purple in the first sector, yellow in the second sector. Can he muster anything out from here? Exiting out from turn 13, then through to 14 now. It's the final few corners that we've seen. People not hitting the apex of 15 has lost that a bit of time. However, Philip has managed to get that apex though. Now it's just flat out to the finish line. Is there anything that he can muster in the drag racing car? We see as he goes to finish, he gets this provisional pole.
3,000s. That's insane. And we see Norbert Jakob also going for the pole, and with lap time he will set. Oh no, the sector 3 was not greatest. P6 for the Hungarian driver from True North right now, and we see the top 5 already finished. We see Mateusz Pishan with 9/10 off right now of the pace, and we see P24 for Mateusz Pishan. And I think it's already almost set for everyone. I'm not sure if we see David Kupra, but I think he had a cut right now. And I'm checking, but I think it's over. I think it's only Michal Galka trying to finish a lap right now. But that's probably it for the qualifying.
Yeah, that's it. That's huge. Wow, Philip Pushka, in the dying moments of qualifying, has managed to upset the party between Herlock and Smith and take pole position here for the Australian Grand Prix. Wow, that was so exciting of a qualifying session here. So many positions have changed up, left, down, and right for the center. And Philip Pushka will be really happy to get himself that pole position. Joseph Herlock himself will be in second place, still on the first row. He's got a chance to get the lead. Harry Smith for the Netrix, the fastest of him, will be in P3. The Brem GP, what a day be there for Tom Satherley. He'll be in P4 in his Grand Prix with Joseph Serrano, the Netrix, the second Netrix driver, in P5. Mortis Crump for Kings Racing, good replacement for him for P6, followed by Norbert Jakob and Jan Dragoon, both of the True North Motorsport drivers in 7th and 8th. David Krupa for the PZZW Racing team in 9th, with Robert Mulling rounding off for the top 10, representing Team Rookie Monsters. Over in P11, Cass Reitfeld, the second of the Brem GP drivers, in 11th, followed by Alexander Rogoza in 12th. Tom van der Voort, the second of the drag racing drivers, in P13, followed by Matthias Canapino, the Argentinian, for 14th. Mirko Lucchini in 15th, followed by Patrick Magnussen in 16th, with James Knox down in P17 for Optimal Esports. Federico Russo in 18th, with Mikhail Galka in 19th. Dominic Horashevin in 20th for Alpha Sierra Sim Racing. 21st for Daniel Scott, the second of the Rookie Monsters, the Scotsman, in 21st, followed by Lua Tamela in 22nd. Daniel Herlock in 23rd, followed by Matthias Pishkan in 24th. Remco Dezil in 25th for Fusion Racing, and then Jack Nichols down in 26th for Kings Racing. Victor Borelli in 27th for the Swede, with Mike Nett. Couldn't get much more of improvement after his crash in 28th, with Maxime Bilou not setting the time in 29th, and Jan Zakor, a violent crash, reducing his chances, and he starts in P30.
Yeah, and just for the sake of your breathing, next time let me do the last 15 places, Amir. Don't worry. It takes a lot of breathing to actually do the whole 30 drivers in one go. I would say I'm surprised about Fusion. I was expecting, I mean, we know it's a team that is stronger in the race rather than in the qualifying. But it surprises me. There are 2 seconds of the pace. I think Wenko and Maxime, yeah, they are very consistent. They get out of trouble and are able to score points because of that. I'm not sure if that would be enough for this race though. It is, personally, it's surprising for me because I value them pretty high given all their abilities to do good race strategies, to preserve the tires and to get out of trouble. But it was a surprising note for me. And what is your surprising note today?
I'm honestly surprised with how the predictions that were laid off early on what the analysis would have reckoned to have been strong performers. Honestly, it looks like such an equal playing field. There are no real dominators here early on in the qualifying spectrum. In fact, we were presuming early on for Jan Dragoon to actually, dominate because he's the only one out of the grid that has won a Superlights race. But the fact that he's not dominant as it is, in fact he's only within the top 10, the fact that the grid is just so muddled up is what really surprised me here. And honestly, this is going to be, as much as exciting qualifying this is going to signify what will be a very exciting Superlights season.
Yeah, I think the top 6 was very close. Outside the top 6 it was not so close. I was maybe expecting more from a driver from Pratrigur. I was expecting maybe he could qualify a bit higher because Pratrigur is amazing in qualifying. He's so strong, and it will take them maybe a bit to adapt from the change from the FS2 car to the SL2 car. Is such a big change. But we also saw Pratrigur being super good in the FS1 car last year when he did some reserve races. So I'm very sure that some things in the order will change. Some teams that are or some drivers that are a bit further behind, they will start catching up during the season. And let's not forget, there is more than just driving and setting up and strategy in GPV Superlights. There is the upgrade path that if you do mistakes with the upgrades, then you can actually fall back pretty fast in the order, and it will take some races to actually catch up. As we see a nice change in heights from the rear suspension from KV86. Sorry, I love to watch these details. I'm a super nerd. What can we expect from the race? I guess the top 15 they will go for a two-stopper. My mind says the most logical thing to do is soft, medium, and maybe we can expect drivers to start pitting from lap 9-10 maybe. Go like a longer way with the mediums. Although might get a bit tight if you bid that soon if you do for a double medium. So maybe some drivers that are struggling a bit more, they go for steel on cuts as well.
Absolutely, it's about how well these drivers can tire preserve it. If they want to try and use as much of the mediums as much as they can, really make it for the long haul, so they can push even harder onto the soft stints, then that's what's going to be for most of these drivers their most ideal strategy, I would say, to try and push either as early or as late as you can, depending on which way you turn your luck into either side. But we were talking before about saying how close the tight field was from the top 6, and how that this kind of represents the long picture for the Superlights. So with that all in mind, Carlos, what would you reckon for the title picture, what this qualifying session from the Superlights has brought to us?
I think almost nothing and everything. No? I think it confirms more or less expectations of the criminal. True North is slightly behind, but this is something that will go back and forth. I think maybe the surprising note is Networks and Brem being this strong. But I would say nothing and everything, because we saw it last year. There were many teams that were stronger in the first part of the season, and then they were not so great at the end. Not maybe the case of Superlights, but maybe more in the case of Super League. But in Superlights we saw last year, Lotto Formula was extremely strong from round 2 onwards, and then the other teams took a lot of time to catch them up. So I would say it means and it doesn't mean anything at the same time. It will reset for round 2. So that's the bit,
For those teams that push ahead, as we said before, with Road to Formula, that had such an early advantage on and took a lot for these drivers to catch up, it's important as well because with the teams that do have the early advantage for whoever might ever win this race and, you know, potentially have good chances for the next one, it's a matter of not about just having that momentum early on, but be able to capitalize it as much as you possibly can. And that's what happened to Alex Laho. That's how he managed to clinch the championship last year around. And for this year, it's just going to be determined on which of these drivers here on the grid, whenever the momentum is on their side, that they can capitalize on it and use it to every single of their advantages for all of the races that we have here, especially for the early ones, because the early ones, for the mentality, it sets the pace for these drivers. It sets also the pace for the teams as well. So that's also something like, as much as the Australian Grand Prix is, you know, it's still early on, but it is so much more important whenever you realize that physical and mental aspect of it as well.
Yeah, especially mentally, I think it's really refreshing when you start the season strong. If you start the season very weak, and I think it can get into somehow even trouble. But yeah, I think maybe who I was expecting more, as I said, was Fusion. And then for the rest, it gets, improving those temps and everything. But yeah, mentally, it's very important to start very fresh, to have this motivation and head to round 2. But let's just remind to everyone, we just seen the qualifying. It's still everything to play. We don't know if the teams will, the front teams actually had a really well qualifying car, but then it doesn't go well into the race. It's hard to me to believe that from Filip Puška, because he is really good during the race. But you never know. You actually, where the points are played are in the race, and we will see how everyone manages the first race start. And there will be some drivers trying to make up for their quality results and be very aggressive. Some others will try to just, well, survive in the madness that is Melbourne. So it's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait to the race to actually start. I would say just let's move straight to the race.
Yeah, absolutely. With that in mind, with just a few minutes left to go on the warm-up, any predictions on what you'd reckon would potentially win the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship here?
I said my prediction. For drivers, I said Jan Dragoon, and the Constructors, I said Truno. It's very early to say. Like, if we took the points from qualifying, I think the most scoring team would be Netrax now, but that would be completely unprecedented, in my opinion. I still keep the same mentality. The season is long. I think one of the drivers that has more chances is to fight Jan Dragoon is Filip Puška, and one of the drivers who's not racing today, which is Meshede. And this shows a lot of possibilities for them. Yeah, I still don't change my mind. What is your view on that?
It's really, as I mentioned before, the momentum, and it's also about the consistency as well. I think that the consistency really plays a large advantage for the long haul here for these drivers, and especially for a championship fight as well. So it's going to be determined, I feel like, for the early championship contenders that we would probably filter out in the first 4 races of the Superlights calendar. It's going to be determined on which of those drivers can, handle that under the pressure and, be able to prosper. For what we've seen early on with Filip Puška, he's done, fairly well, actually, because, again, dying stages of the qualifying, he kept his cool and he still managed to get pole position. And we've seen it before with all these laps on how easy it is to lose the car. It's moments like these whenever you need to be calm and collective to be able to make the most out of your car. So something with the talents like Filip has shown, I think it would be the sign of what we can expect from a Superlights champion here this season.
Yeah, I think the car right now is also the most nervous that you will have during the season. As soon as you improve the car upgrades, the car balance will improve. Sorry to mention, I know it's my own team, but I love the rims, how they look. They look so they look so amazing. They look so shiny, and it's amazing to see the rims like that in a car. But yeah, the car behavior will improve through the season, and that's a really important aspect to take into account. If you struggle with it, probably you improve some areas of the car that actually improve your drivability. Maybe not so much your lap time pace, but your drivability. And there are options for that in the upgrade path. And you can select chassis mass diffuser or underfloor with the ones which will give you the most drivability from all of them. So pretty sure Lunark will select one of them or both. Or two of the three options for the upcoming Grand Prix, and yeah, it's part of the game. How aggressive can you deal with the setup and everything? I'm fairly sure many drivers are having similar issues as Mike, and they were just on the edge of not having a similar incident because in Super League we have the same issue.
Absolutely interesting there. With that upgrade tree, there's effectively endless solutions that these teams and drivers can dictate for where their car will progress. Slowly, we're going to be able to get all 30 cars onto the grid for what is it going to be an exciting 48 laps here to make the Superlights return here for 2025.
Let's wait until the grid loads, but it looks like super interesting race. I can't wait. Like I just popped in my head. There is a change within the last year's regulation, or at least I cannot remember it this way. This year we have DRS since lap 2. I think last year it was since lap 3, if I'm not mistaken. And this will affect a lot because I think drivers will try to push a bit less in the first lap because it will be more difficult to actually open this 1 second gap. I will also mention, let's not take for granted that as soon as one driver takes out from DRS, will not catch it back. Degradation is pretty high. As we see, the cars are starting to roll for the warm-up lap. And Amir, my friend, as soon as the grid loads, do you want to tell us the grid order?
Absolutely, I'll do the top 15 and you'll do the other 15. So top 15 is wherever the points are scored for the Superlights, and for that, Philip Pushka will have a very clear view ahead to start for the Australian Grand Prix with Joseph Hurlock over in second to complete row 1. Harry Smith and Tom Satherley will be in row 2, followed by that it's Jose Serrano and Morris Krupp in row 3. Norbert Jakob and Jan Dragon will be over for row 4, and then after that it's David Krupa and Robert Mulling for row 5. Kat Reitfeld and Alexander Ragoza for row 6, and then after that it's Tom van der Voort and Matthias Canapino for row 7. After that will be Mirko Lucchini, and that completes the points running order.
Yeah, we see Patrick Romanikson P16, James Knox P17, Federico Russo P18, Michel Galka P19, and Dominic Koroshavin P20 for Alpha Sierra Sim Racing. Then we see Daniel Scott P21, Noah Tuomela P22, Daniel Horlock P23 for Lunac, and Matthews Pishan for TTM Racing P24. As we see Renko Dezu P25, Jack Nichols P27, Victor Worley Jack Nichols P26 and Victor Worley P27, Mike Quinn P28 crashing in qualifying, Maxim Bulio P29 and also crashing in qualifying P30 Jan Sikora. As we see the drivers heading into the first grid slots, completing the last corners of Australia, and I can really wait for the first 3 corners. I'm actually nervous to see what will happen. Let's just hope for a clean race, we already have a lot of spice, as I was mentioning last year. There is a lot of spice already. It's round 1. We don't want to see any kind of incident, as we see Jan Sikora, the last man on the grid, approaching to his car slots. Wow, this is amazing. Drivers can actually feel the tension. Team managers can actually feel the tension. And all the viewers are very excited for this to start very soon. As we're
60
waiting
races
for
are going to
the
be
lights.
ahead of us now. 16 races are going to be ahead of us now. 30 cars on the grid now. Slowly, the 2025 Superlights season will begin underway. Filip Puška over in pole position with Herlock over in second place. Slowly with the 4, the 5. We are going to be underway in Albert Park. It's a great start actually from Hartley. It makes it trying to mix to the inside now. Herlock has got down the inside, heading down into turn 1. Makes the move on Puška. Puška's dropped down to nearly third, I think, being side by side now with Harry Smith. Harry Smith will make the move with the inside line he's got and actually uses the slipstream to take advantage. Puška tries to go down the inside through turn 3 but doesn't make it work, as now you see in the background there with Sorano and sadly he's actually comes up into 4th, and that's absolutely incredible racing here over in lap 1.
Yeah, we see also Moritz Krop winning in so many positions in P5 right now. Watch out right now, because the slipstream is quite strong if you are close enough to the car in front, and I think Moritz Krop can actually launch a surprise attack if he uses push to pass. And actually, he's going to be under the attack of Jose Soriano. Jose Soriano is approaching so much. I think he reacted now using P2P. Now Jose Soriano will need to wait behind and actually take some breath and some cleaner. We see so many cars so close, so many cars going wide. We see James Knox also trying to go on the attack on the driver in front of PZZW. I'm not sure which one it is. It is Matias Canapino. Yes, now defending a car going wide. Also, I'm not sure if it was Tuomela or Patrick, or it was Patrick or Magnusson. We see Matias Canapino now just keeping the position. Alexander Rogoza P13 right now, Mirko Lucchini P14. We see a lot of changes. Norbert Jakob also P7, Jan Dragun P8, maintaining the position. Joseph Horlock actually broke the DRS from Harry Smith, and this is big because now he can run, he can set his own pace, and Harry Smith will actually need to work to actually cut down this gap. And we'll see how the different tire managements will just show right now. You see Moritz Krop very close to Tom Sadley in P4 right now. And we will see if there is many attacks right now. We will see many open DRS right now. I cannot imagine anyone not having DRS but Harry Smith. Now, right now, I think it's too far away to launch an attack. Yeah, it's definitely too far away. And I think Sadley is close but not enough. As we see some attack behind, Jose Soriano is under the attack from Norbert Jakob. He is on the inside. I think it's no go to actually go for the move on the outside. I think a lot of drivers are using push to pass right now. Remember, we have 80 seconds available of push to pass for this Grand Prix. Wow, so amazing, so much action right now. And the ball is on Harry Smith end, because he needs to decide if he pushes enough to catch Joseph Horlock or he keeps his own pace and his own strategy. As you see, Norbert so close to Jose Soriano, so close. We see fastest lap of the race, Joseph Horlock 21.48 as we see right now. So Amir, what are your reactions from the race start?
I've lost my breath as much as you have, Carlos. Herlock has done everything that he possibly needed to do and push as fast as he did, and now he's done it. He's broke away from the DRS train, so he's got P1 all that to himself. And Harry Smith, as he says, needs to contemplate whether to save or whether to attack. I think he might be attacking because he knows he's got Puška right behind. But wow, with all that drama over in just the first 2 laps, this is going to be very interesting to see what will be for the other remaining laps here in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, Jakob is using a lot of P2P. As also to mention, Quint is out of the race. Oh my god, they will go 3 wide almost here. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Norbert really wants to go through. And at all costs, I would say, almost.
Not sure exactly what Brunoff needs it. Yeah, he makes the move now, and Jakob just tries to make the move, but doesn't quite make it work just about yet. That both of the True North teammates are going to go absolutely at it against one another, but Norbert still just about holds it on to 7th. He is desperately holding that onto his life away from his teammate.
Oh my god, almost dies into the wall as we see another car in the back. Oh, I think it was Tom Vandervoort, right? And yeah, it is Tom Vandervoort crashing into the last corner. Their tier is massive in that corner, so it's easy to either lose traction or lose the front end completely, as he did. And now, very important, let go everyone and just not crash into everyone. Wow, what a start. As we see here, I think it's going to be... Dominic... No, the replay from Tom Vandervoort heading into the last corner of the track and losing traction. Did he went long? Yeah, he went a bit long, and you touch grass, which it was almost the same as Norbert Jakob did, and then you crash into the wall. As we see Moritz Kropp, P5, very close from Tom Southerly, but not launching the attack. As we see Norbert Jakob actually a bit far away right now from Jose Soriano. Ooh, as we see another foaming there. Did someone lose it? As we see, Pushka attacking Harry Smith for the position, and Harry Smith keeps it. Harry Smith is clearly losing a bit of pace compared to Joseph and doing a bit of a train here, so maybe the smartest thing is to actually let Philip, very close to losing the car there as well, as we see a car in front exiting from the pits, and now Philip Pushka
down the inside.
Yeah,
he does it, he makes the move, and Philip Pushka gets himself up into P2, and he's done exactly what he needs to do. Now it's just a matter about defending from Harry Smith. I think Harry Smith must have been going conservative there, but the thing with that defense that he's had is that it's now has pushed those two cars now into, look at this train here, all for P2, and they're all probably going to go really at each other.
Yeah, now I think the best thing to do is let Philip push and just take the DRS, because the point is to hand down Herlock. He's gone 2.2 seconds. He's not it's a decent margin, but it's not the greatest. But I think Tom actually wants to go through as well, and they're going at it. I think they're going to pressure Philip as well, and he's pushing so much. Jose Soriano actually winning a position over Moritz Kropp right now. Moritz Kropp actually in potential to lose another one, as we see Tom Southerly attacking Harry Smith from Prem GP, and they will go side by side again into the fast corner. This is not ideal. They will lose the DRS from Pushka. Wow, what a move from Tom Southerly. Wow, he makes the move. Oh wow, it's so much happening.
Oh, he's in the wall! He's collided in the grass! He accelerated too much onto the grass and he's lost so many positions! And that's unfortunate for Kropp. Back into Harry Smith now, he's dropped down to 5th, and now he's going to be under the attack from Jakob now. Oh my word, that's incredible!
Yeah, wow, that's a big one for the race, because Moritz is so fast and so consistent for the race, and hopefully his car is not too much damage and can keep the pace. Looks like Harry Smith is struggling with the tires right now, already in lap 4-5. So this is a really long way the Networks driver will need to go. And right now, Pushka is on the hunt. He was 2/10 faster than Joseph in the previous lap. Now Southerly needs to bring this up to actually try to catch up on Pushka. So the race is very open right now.
It is very open. It's to determine what Harry Smith, and given that he is struggling with the tires, what can he do? Looking at the back there from Reitfeld to the Braun GP cars, both of them are in the top 10, so this is going to be a very good showing here on their debut, as Reitfeld just defends from Kropp. I think he knows he deserves to be in the top 5, but after that mistake he needs to keep that climb back up now. I think it's actually a miracle that he didn't lose his front wing.
Yeah, it's a miracle, and hopefully his suspension damage is not too high. We've seen in the past years that the suspension damage can actually hurt your pace a lot. Here, although the DRS train is worth about 3-4 tenths a lap, so it is a very big boost, and it can help you to keep holding on there. And let's see how everything evolves right now. But it's been so much aggression so far, and I'm very surprised, because I thought that the management of the race would be extremely different. As we see Jose Soriano actually being super close to Tom Southerly, as we see a lap car there that must get out of the way and not interrupt into this. And we see Jose actually, I'm not sure if he will attack this lap, but he's very, very close, and this will allow them to actually break the DRS train, I think, with Harry Smith. And if any, this is big, if Harry can actually build a gap for his teammate up in front.
Yeah, absolutely, Soriano. You can just see with them pushing as much as they possibly can onto the back of Satherley. He's still got a good chance for a home podium, but I'm sure Soriano was hoping to end that sort of dreams for him. And you can just see with Harry Smith there on the back. I'm not sure. I think he's gotten a little bit better with the tires now. He's getting them back up, but no moves just yet.
Yeah, no moves just yet. Let's have some breathing, because we didn't have many, as Ron Mulling actually looking for a move on Cas Fritwell. Moritz Kopp actually overtook Cas Fritwell, and David Cooper in P8. Great so far performance from the PZZW driver. And this is such an amazing race so far, as we see Tom Satherley is almost in the DRS zone from Filip Puška, and Filip Puška is more or less same pace as Joseph Horlock. So we can see a very interesting race in the upcoming laps. And let's remind, the pit window will open the next lap, and more or less the pit delta is about 20 seconds. And if you pit right now, you would be about P22 and I would say P22, P23 from the leader, and that will lead you into a train of 3 cars. So it's important to try to clear that up as much as you can, because the traffic here is a bit special. You can actually win time with the traffic if you find them one by one, and you take a lot of advantage of the DRS. But if you find a huge train, you will definitely lose time. So it's very important from an engineering side to actually nail this.
Absolutely. Albert Park also has one of the shortest tails, and Tom Satherley just goes a bit wide on turn 1. He is feeling the pressure from Soriano. It really is, because he keeps applying that pressure, and he knows because Tom has cracked just a little bit, but still keeps it on track to hold on to P3 though.
Yeah, but he's got the DRS now from Puška, so they clearly have a pace advantage. As we see a yellow in Sector 1, let's hope nothing big happened. And Harry Smith is able to... well, it's Tom Vanderbilt, which is... Oh, no!
Again!
Oh, whoa! Wow,
is that back?
Is that the... No, it's Daniel Scott. That's Daniel Scott, which spun. Sorry for the mistake. I saw a bit of orange, and I also thought it was the optiminal with the bit orange bit they have. But yeah, Tom is having a huge pace right now. He's catching on Puška, and Puška is catching on Herlock, and Jose Soriano is pressuring on Tom. So amazing pace by Jose. He has a lot, the good end on the tires here. Oh my god, that was heavy as well. Jesus, wow, that's crazy how these people can actually control the car. The tires are in the end of their lifespan, and let's see what the strategies are looking like. Puška definitely catching on Herlock, and everyone is just suffering right now on the tire end. Right now, Harry Smith actually lost the DRS from Jose Soriano, so maybe Norbert Jakob and the True North guys have actually a chance right now to have a look on the Netrex driver, and let's see how this evolves.
You can see just how, with all these people pushing on in the early stages of the race, that their tires are depleted much more than they have expected, because all that deviation away from the racing line puts more strain onto those tires, as you know, with all that tire wear. So it's just a matter to see like how much more ounce they can put into these sort of lifeless tires now before they go into the pits and go on for the mediums.
Yeah, let's say that the doesn't look. It looks actually really good to pit now. If you are
Jakob passed Harry Smith.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Sorry, I was looking the.
Oh, Harry Smith! Harry Smith is dropping. I think he's going around the outside now, and he's lost 2 positions in the outer sector. There's a spin in the background with the blue flags. I think that was. I'm not sure exactly who that was.
David Cooper.
Oh, it's David Cooper. Oh my word.
Yeah, I think now everyone is struggling with the tires, and a small mistake can actually drop you so much. Now Harry Smith losing now David Cooper heading into the pit lane, losing both positions to the True North. I was looking for the gaps for pitting, so my bad on that. But I think if you are P1, there is a big gap right now to actually pit. so Joseph Hurlock can actually look for pitting right now, maybe heading into hard tire compound, as we see the replay of the True North overtaking right now Harry Smith, and probably got a big amount of dirt here, and maybe got surprised by the driver behind. He got surprised and he didn't expect it, leaves the room. Clean racing by all of them, which is amazing, must be mentioned. So far we had great racing in Superlights, and that's something we need to applaud so far.
Absolutely. Krupa was also accelerated a bit to take way too much curb on the exit of turn 13, and unfortunately that's as much as that will be doing. But he has gone into the pits now for some clean rubber, and I think for the other drivers as well, maybe it's a chance to reconsider. As you mentioned, one mistake and that's your progress gone. So surely though we'll see some more pit stops coming soon. It is still only just lap 11 out of 48. They're still trying to push as much life into out of the tires as they possibly can.
Yeah, they're going long, maybe because they all want to do this soft to medium strategy. I guess they want to do about 17 laps with them, which is more or less the lifespan they have right now, and they go a bit long because of it, and we will see. But there is a big chance to actually go pit now. You will be in front of Russo if you are Joseph Hurlock. And just a reminder, Filip Puška is almost in the RS range, so this places P1, P2, P3, P4 for contention for P1 immediate contention. And of course Norbert Jakob and Jan Dragun can actually contend for the race as well, because everything is super close, and it is amazing. We can see how the different strategies are. Hurlock pushed a bit at the early stages because he saw the chance with the gap with Harry Smith, and then Tom Sutherly has a better tire wear, and Jose even better. And let's remember, at the beginning Jose was in pressure from the True North driver, so this is how every team understands how to manage these tires, and maybe at some point fast they will just go into the pits. It's not smart for Jose or for Tom or for Philip to actually pit right now, and right now we can see Norbert Jakob going for the pits. Super important which tire Norbert Jakob is going for, and Norbert has to pit because then he will undercut and will have the chance to grab the DRS from the guys who are not pitting now. And now, responsibility for the top four. Are you reacting to this pitting from Norbert Jakob? It's super important. Right now, Norbert Jakob is in a position that is not the greatest one. Okay, is not the greatest one. We can see he's in a bit of traffic. He has 4 cars in front right now, and I think it's moment to wait. It's moment to wait. He has to overtake so many cars. Do not react to it.
Traffic really ahead of him, really trying to do for the undercut. Must have struggled a lot on with those soft tires, but now he's got onto a lot fresher rubber now, so he's going to hope to see, to again, similar with the other tires, push as much as they possibly can to move on to the other tire compounds. So no one else of the leaders have yet to pit other than Jakob, so it's going to be interesting as we keep an eye on him to see how he progresses in comparison to the other cars, for example his teammate and Harry Smith, as Molings actually himself has gone into the pits.
Yeah, Ruben Mulling is going to the pits. They are going quite long, and right now the lap times are quite slow, I would say. They are doing 22.5, Joseph Hurlock, and Filip Puška is racing 4 tenths faster than that. And where the traffic is, they are racing in 23s. You can see Moritz Kropp racing in 21.4, which is one of the drivers who pitted first, actually. He's been 4 laps already without with
Oh my
this
god, Pushka's
compound
with the
tire.
DRS rage now going through 11 and 12. He's caught up immensely now in the last few laps now, and he's surely going to be able to use this to his advantage with the slipstream now coming on through turn 13. Herlock needs to be defensive now in order to hold on to his position. Oh no, he's turned too much of the curb and he's lost it, and that will allow for Pushka to have that advantage going from turn 15 and 16 now, and now with the DRS in his way, he'll be able to make the move. None of them pit, so that's big. We can see Herlock is clearly struggling with the rubber. It is a missed chance, and now with the DRS, there's nothing much Herlock can do now, and Pushka down the inside of turn 1, he now takes the lead. A bit of the grass on Pushka, and that will allow from Herlock to go and get back, and it goes side by side now, a little bit. No, Pushka just holds it in, and then with the DRS activation zone before turn 3. Wow, that was close.
Yeah, Jose Sereno went wide turn 1. I'm not sure if he hit the wall or something, but right now this race is really wide open, and I'm starting to think if they did 15 laps with the softs, can they actually do 33 laps with the hard compound? I think that is not a crazy thing to do right now, as we see Tom Sutherland getting very close to Joseph Herlock. I think he understands he doesn't want to be in P3 now, seeing that Joseph Herlock is way slower, seeing that also Jose Soriano made a mistake and has the chance now to actually promote in positions. I really think these drivers are swapping to maybe a one-stop right now, because they're going so long with the softs that maybe the option for them is to actually do a one-stop right now. And let's see, they will need to go definitely to the C2 tire if they pit soon, but no, they're not pitting. So yeah, I would say they are swapping to a one-stop. I'm very surprised of this decision, and for sure Norbert Jakob right now it's in a two-stopper by the tire he selected. He selected the C3, and he's still behind if they pit because he was stuck in traffic, but right now he has clean air. He has 7 seconds of clean air right now, and I think it's time to react from these drivers, because unless you want to go the one stop, then do not react at all. Stay on track easy, and we will see how it goes. We see Reden Merling 121.3, one of the drivers who pitted, is right now 1.5 seconds faster than these drivers. So yeah, it's well, these teams, they clearly know more than we do, and therefore we must understand that this is the best thing to do.
Wow, absolutely, I agree with you. But again, with that one stop though, if they're really trying to push it as much as they can and then go on to the other tire compound for 33 laps, it is highly risky from what we've seen, because a lot of these, you know, near misses that we've seen has all been tire related, as there goes Montes Klopp going down the inside through turn 11 onto Federico Rosso, and he gets it done. And really great move there from the King's Racing driver.
Yeah, that was crucial. That was crucial because he was the first one to pit in lap 9. So definitely going for a two-stop with soft, medium, medium, and we will see where we go. As we see Jan Dragon going for the pits. Which tire is he setting? He's setting medium. Oh, medium. I don't think you can finish the race from this point with the medium. Maybe he's going for a soft, medium, soft, and that's another very valid option, as we see. Also, I think it was Koroshavin pitting for the tires, and we see Jan Dragon actually just racing behind Moritz Kropp in a pretty clean environment. I think he will overtake Kropp fairly easy, because his tires are 6-7 laps fresher than Moritz. As we see Tom Sutherly there already.
Oh no, that's someone else!
No! Oh my god! Joseph Herlock managed to save it. That's going to the pits for sure. Jose Soriano promoting another position. Wow, that's wild. That's the flat spots are big. I think now there is no chance. You have to clip fast for the pit bid request, and now going to crash. He didn't crash, let's be honest here, he didn't crash. We see Harry Smith also going for the pits, and I think that was Tom Sutherly as well, having a bit of an issue. Oh no, he will need to reverse. Yeah, oh no, he missed the pit. Oh no, that's a disaster! Oh no! That's terrible! And now his teammate is right behind! Oh no! Did he actually make the change?
I don't think he did. No, he's still on the softs, so he has to do another lap on those burnt rubber. Yeah, he'll be absolutely frustrated with that. Oh man, I think he's thrown his chance of a podium away, I'm afraid. But
I'm not sure. Sometimes doesn't update this fast. We don't know. Oh my god! If he didn't, that's race ending for him. That's race ending if he didn't. Sometimes it takes some time to load. Oh no! We can see behind Kaz Riddle, but he's losing a lot of time. So yeah, I think he didn't change the tire.
he's still on the softs. Yeah, he's still on the rub softs. That's pretty much his podium chances more or less over now, unless if he can pull some sort of miracle. But this is really disastrous for Optimal, I must say.
Yeah, that is race ending. I think now it will be difficult for them to score points as we see a yellow in sector 1, as we see Matias Canapino actually having... wait, is it Canapino or David Krupa?
It's Krupa.
No, it's Krupa, yeah. It's Krupa with another spin, unfortunate for the Polish driver here today. He had an amazing qualifying session. As we see Harry Smith also heading into the pits. Jose Soriano pitted as well. He's behind Kropp and pretty behind Southerly as well. Wow, and behind Jan Dragon as well. I'm not sure if he maybe had an issue during the pit lane as well. And that, because that is surprising, he's this far from Jan Dragon and Norbert Jakob, especially from Jan Dragon, I would say. It's difficult to understand what is going on. So many things are going on, as we see Joseph Orland heading into the pit, setting the C2, the hard compound for this Grand Prix, and trying to go till the end to maybe fish some points. Knowing his quality, knowing his pace, I think he will maybe be able to catch one or two. Oh, Jan Dragon didn't hit. That's... wait, no, cannot be that Jan Dragon didn't hit. There is no way he didn't hit. There is absolutely, yeah, he's on yellow tires. It's just the infographic sometimes doing fancy stuff. Filip Puška did not. And this is like very clear to me, going for a 1-stop.
Oh, Robin
Molin
trying to make the move, and now here's Puška coming into the pits now. We have to see on Jakob and Southerly now. Those are the people that he's fighting off with. He's now going on to the mediums. We're going to see where he's going to come off with very shortly. And there's Jakob. Wow, the undercuts worked. It's actually done wonders for Jakob. So he's now on to the provisional lead now. As where's Puška? Puška's going to come out in 4th now. Oh, he blocks it a little bit from Kropp now. That's very dangerous. But then Kropp will probably... yeah, his line was compromised. And now allow for Rogoza to go around the outside of turn 3. Still trying to hold it a bit, but he's got a bit of that optimal line. The inside of turn 4. And... wow, my word, that will be... I think that must be very frustrating for Krupp, because Puška was on the racing line. He got no choice but to make evasive action, and as a result lost a position because of it.
Yeah, we see Jan Dragon also setting the pressure on Tom Southerly, and suddenly we see True North, P1 and P2 out of the blur. It's insane that they were P6, P7, and now for sure they are on the attack. It's wild what is happening right now. I'm not entirely sure what the drivers are trying, as we see Moritz Kropp also trying to fight back the position from Alexander Rogoza, sorry, and his tires are quite old right now. They are 11 laps old so far, so we will need to pit again. And we see Jose Soriano stuck here in the traffic, and right behind him Robin Mulling, which was attacking him into the fast chicane into turn 9 and turn 10. Wow, it's so much things happen during this period. As we see Jose Soriano on the hard tire, so this suggests he's going till the end. Jose Soriano is on the hard tire, and I'm not sure. Oof, the infographic is difficult to see. Tom Southerly is on the hard as well. I can actually see it. So Brem and Netrex going for the hard compound. So they are going for a 1-stop for sure. And you know what's the positive from this? Tom Southerly is in an amazing position. He has DRS from a guy that has medium tires.
Oh, here we go.
Soriano.
He tries to make the move.
Oh my god, trying to be very close and take the chances. They know these drivers are slower than what he can actually pull if he wants to contend for the podium or for something else. As we see, trying to make the move on the outside, Moritz Kropp actually defending the inside, and actually the German driver will take the advantage for now. 11 old, almost losing the rear end there, and it will be interesting to see how Jose manages to pass all these drivers, because he's also in pressure from Robin Möhling. What I was mentioning from Tom Southerly, he has the advantage from Jan Dragoon. Jan Dragoon has a medium tire pace, and he just gets the DRS from it and gets the benefit. So for the upcoming laps, Tom Southerly is going to have the hard tire with medium tire pace. And that's really important for the race strategy, because we can see Jan Dragoon taking a lot of time on Norberg.
The other good advantage for that with the hards is that you can make as many overtake attempts as you want, and it will not, the wear will not deplete as much as it will for the mediums. For the mediums and for the softs, you need to be a lot more careful, as you can just see with Kripp just trying to get as much of the areas he can. But unfortunately, his line's compromised now, as now there in the back of that Soriano, trying to look for a move, was evasive. Now trying to look for the inside move, but also turns back now, heading through turn 11 and 12. He's still applied as much pressure as he can to Kropp, but nothing is coming out of it.
Yeah, no, nothing is coming out of it, and he is about 5 seconds off from Tom Southerly, so all this pitting and everything didn't go his way, but there is still more than half race to go. These tires need to go very long, and he is acknowledging, I will go super long, and therefore he cannot forget the tire management he has to do here. So patience, I would say, for my Spanish fellow driver, that we didn't see many in GPV for quite some years, and yeah, this is such an interesting race right now. As we see, Tom Southerly actually lost the DRS from Jan Dragoon, and that is actually huge for the True North driver, because then you don't have a driver taking advantage from your own pace. So that is a good thing for the True North squad that are actually both leading the race, and I think Pushka is pretty close to Tom Southerly and will actually have opportunities to overtake Tom very soon, as we see it right now. And it's not too bad for Tom, because then you will have the medium pace again for 2 or 3 laps maybe, and so that's an extra value you will have for the upcoming laps. So maybe it's interesting for him to use push to pass in the upcoming laps to make sure you get this benefit as long as you can.
Nearly approaching the halfway point here, with still 24 laps have been done and 24 laps remaining here in this race here. Still a lot of positions here to play for, with Tywer being a very huge factor, which we've seen here before, which potentially knocked out a potential race winner contender in Harlock. It's going to be interesting to see how these other drivers will fare. Now they have to play an even longer game with the mediums and hards.
Yeah, it's so many answers, so many questions and so little answers right now to manage, and it will be interesting how it goes. We can also see Harry Smith lost a lot of pace as well. He is 7 seconds behind Möhling, and clearly something is not going his way during the race. Maybe he had a small tap or a small contact, and then therefore losing the pace there. But I can see a lot of positives for so many drivers. So you can see positives for Robin Möhling, amazing P8 for the German driver, and Dominic Koroshavin currently in P11. Maybe all these positions are a bit distorted, because we don't really know what the strategy is looking like. And Rogosa is definitely a surprise, because he was in the pack of the cars that they were at the beginning, and he pitted in lap 12. So he's one of the drivers that pitted sooner than the rest of the field, and maybe right now his tires are gonna start to fade. You can see maybe Jose losing some time here and trying to make a move, but when you have a bit of restraint, it's very difficult. You need to apply some pressure to Moritz to actually do a mistake and maybe surprise him, and maybe no!
Oh, he's wiggle!
Wow,
A wiggle there,
wow.
but he still just about keeps it onto track again. I think it's the second time we've seen him made a close call like that for Jose, but he still manages to hold on to 7th for his dear life once again, and still just applying the pressure onto the German driver of Krop as he possibly can. And as you mentioned before, of Goza still there very comfortably in P5.
Yeah, doesn't this show how good the Superlight drivers are? Like the amazing control and the amazing skills they have. It's insane, and wow, that I wouldn't have controlled that for sure, and most of us wouldn't. And this shows how good all the Superlights field is, how good it is. They are dealing with this tire management, and they are also going on the edge of every bit of grip that they can find. We can see also Jan Dragoon catch up on Norbert Jakob, and Philipp Puschke catch up on Jan Dragoon. So we have a battle in the front for the P1 right now, and Tom Sutherly is almost in the DRS range as well. So we can have another battle for P1 between 4 drivers, and it can go 4 different ways. And now the interesting thing is, Turnov has the advantage and the disadvantage at the same time. They are on the worst tires from Puschke and Sutherly, that's of course, but they are 2 drivers. So what does come here in play? Does it Jan Dragoon go through Nor Jakob, and then Nor Jakob try to make a gap for his teammate, or they just try to Norbert gives the DRS to Norbert, Norbert gives the DRS to Jan, and then they can defend themselves with the DRS, or what does it come here? But this definitely comes in play from Tom Sutherly, because Tom is on the one side, as we see Jose Soriano trying to go through Moritz Krop right now.
He's done it.
He goes through. Yeah, he goes through. That's positive for the Spanish driver, and now he will try to make more positions. I think now it's time also to almost speed for Moritz Krop. Maybe he needs to do 3 more laps or 4, and then he will go to the pit lane. But this goes in favor of Tom Sutherly, because who is forced to do moves is Philip. Philip needs to create a gap to Tom as soon as he can, and he has the better medium tire state, so he needs to overtake, go through north, and make it a good value to create a gap to Tom Sutherly.
Absolutely, said there with 2 true enough drivers, and Puschke as well can go many different ways. Surely with the team and True Enough would want to come home to the Australian Grand Prix with a 1-2 to their name to start off a very good season for them. Having been in P6 and P7 at the start of the grid, I don't think any of us could have anticipated them being as dominant as they are, but it is still only halfway through the season, and as you said before, can go many ways. Puschke is still going to try and make as much as he can to push onto Dragoon, and with Sadly in the background as well, he's hoping to get into this race win picture as well. Still no moves being made yet. We're all just trying to slowly claw into one another or catch up to one another. But with that DRS, it definitely plays an advantage to Puschke and Dragoon. And for Jakob, he needs to do the same. But unfortunately, it's going to be more cost to his tires. You can just see that he's much more faster in the corners than them. But these guys clawed back up with that DRS advantage that they have. As Puschke, you can just see being so aggressive onto the back of Dragoon, really desperate to try and make the move. And he knows he sees Sadler in the back, so he knows he needs to make it sooner than later.
Yeah, he needs to do it as soon as he can, because this position favors a lot Tom Sutherly. Tom Sutherly is very happy to be where he is right now, because these drivers will need to catch up 20 seconds to Tom Sutherly, unless Philip is able to do these tires till the end of the race. Then, well, he's still in the need to overtake these drivers, because he needs to open a gap regardless to Tom, because Tom will have a better end at the end of the race. So it's very interesting to see how this will evolve, and it's amazing. We have this is what the managers wanted, and how many people was asking in Superlights, we wanted tire strategy diversity, and today we have drivers that are pitting early, like we can see Norbert Jakob. We can see drivers that are pitting a bit later, like Philip Puschka going for the medium. Then we can see Tom Satherley, who's going for a one-stop. This is great. I doubt Norbert Jakob goes to the end. I think that would be unimaginable to do 30-something laps with the medium. I think it's unheard of. I don't think it's even possible. And yeah, that is amazing. And we will see how it unfolds. And we see Jose Soriano actually overtook Ragosa. Ragosa heading into the pits, confirming this two-stop from the Gallery 82 driver. As we see Robin Neuling as well going for the two-stopper here. And they will do an 18-lap stint, which is more or less the moment to pit. I think Moritz Kropp will also pit will pit very soon. He's done 20 laps already with this tire. Maybe he goes a bit longer to go on the softer compound later on. So far, very interesting race. We are in the part of the race that is mostly strategic and mostly like a bit of, you know, let's set peace for now and let's see how it goes. I'm not sure if that is the best for Dragoon to stay behind True North. Maybe True North believes that the best way to keep their chances is like doing a blockage, the Canada blockage. I think that has similarities with the current political situation with the US doing a blockage, but it's more or less the other way, right? But if the Canada blockage works, it works, right? That's the amazing thing to see.
It's amazing because none of the drivers are actually Canadian. Norbert Jakob still holds on to the lead away from Dragoon. I was very clear that Dragoon is still just holding off from Puschka as he possibly can, not making any attacks onto his teammate. So it is definitely clear that True North is really eyed for that 1-2. And with 18 laps to go, it more or less settles. But look for Tom Satherley. You said he's on the one-stop. It is an advantage that he is catching up to them. However, in the closing stages, whenever these guys get new rubber, he's going to be a very marked man on those final few laps.
Yeah, maybe he can try to choose to overtake them and try to pull away, but I think right now this is the more or less the laps where True North decides to get in, and they will need to catch up at least 1 second a lap. I'm not sure what as we see, I think Jan Dragoon will try to go for the move. Yeah, they swap positions. True North actually swap positions, and I think Norbert is gonna pit now, very likely by the looks of it, and they will just try to, or Norbert will just try to make some gap now. He will try to make some gap for Jan Dragoon to actually launch it, but I don't think there is much on it to do because Philip has way better tires than Jan Dragoon. Yeah,
go into the pit. Jakob's in the pits now.
It was expected. It was expected to go to the pits, and it makes sense. They tried to make like a DRS gap for Jan Dragoon, but I think Puschke will actually cut it down pretty fast. We can see Jose Soriano being 4.55 seconds off from Tom Satherley, which is maybe the net lead for now. And well, they will need to cut down the gap about 1 second a lap more or less, and that's counting as well the traffic. As I mentioned before, if you find one car, traffic benefits you, you will win time. If you cut a group of cars, they will slow you down. So it will be a bit depending on that, and I think he landed right behind James Knox and Dominic Koroshavin, which is 2 drivers only he needs to clear up, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing the tension now to ups between Satherley and Puschka. I think very soon we're going to see someone else coming into the pits momentarily. Do keep an eye out for Jakob though, still in the race win contention again. So it's just going to be interesting to see whether that True North has timed their strategy to perfection. Again, we saw it before a few moments ago. Whenever you can be in the mid-pack, a perfectly timed pit stop can pretty much excel you into a title win. A race win, my apologies. But still a lot to play for, I must say, with only 16 laps to go.
I think the top 3 will be completely happy if the title contention is decided today, right? Because they're in contention for the race win. But with all honesty, so many things are open. It's so difficult. You can clearly see Tom having slightly more pace than Pushka. Maybe it's smart from Tom to actually make the move right now, because if you have more pace, then later on Pushka will need to recover more time, and you don't actually want Dragoon actually to neither have a chance, because Dragoon at the end is in the same strategy as Pushka. Unless Pushka tries to go to one stop, I don't think it's possible. As we see, Alexander Ragoza, fastest lap of the race, 21.1.
Oh my god, Tom Sadler goes inside of turn 11 and he makes it stick, gets himself up into P2, and Pushka's going to try and surely have to have a fight back as they approach for the third sector. No, he concedes beforehand. Wow.
Yeah, that is important for Tom, because we can see Pushka actually losing time to Jan Dragoon, so probably his tires are not in the greatest shape right now, and Jan is doing an amazing job. I think now Pushka will try to keep on the DRS for 1 or 2 laps, and as soon as he loses the DRS, probably hits into the pits. I think it's mental to think that he can go till the end of the race. So I think now the race is essentially the True North and the MGP driver, Tom Sutherland.
Yeah, absolutely. See there, Horashevin is also coming into the pits. Been up very high up, but now from P5, gonna see exactly where he exits out as well. Surely, I think pit A now would probably be a very good time for these people that are on 2 stoppers, and for the people that are 1 stoppers, it's just, again, just caressing the tires as much as you can. Don't make too many evasive maneuvers. Don't make too many overtaking attempts as well. That can wear the tires off, and just bring the car to straight to the finish line now. But you can see now with Pushka still trying to apply the pressure onto Sadleri as he possibly can, a little bit sideways. Bit off. That's someone off.
No, that's the.
Oh my God, Dragoon! What happened?
No, no front wing! Oh no! The race leader! Oh no! Oh no! He went wide, probably turn 10, and then clipped the grass and lost control. I saw a bit of smoke of green grass, but that was fine. Many drivers actually do it. But oh no, that's race over for him!
Wow! That's the second race contender that we've had that has lost their front wing, along with Herlock early. Oh, yeah, just a bit of a lock up there on the grass. Have to see the replay though, coming out from turn 11 and then through turn 12. Is it too much on the grass? It is too much on the grass. Collision with the wall. Nothing much that Jan can do after that mistake.
Wow. Wow.
That is big. That is huge. And Jan Jurgen is retired.
Yeah. Saving engine probably for any race that you have a small advantage, and now Tom Sutherland.
So this is big now. So this is for the race win.
Yeah. Well, wait, hold up. Norbert Jakob is still in play. Let's not forget about him.
He is still in play, absolutely. In fact, he's now probably even a bigger advantage now that Dragoon has retired. But this leads the race to win completely wide open between Jakob, Pushka and Sadri, which used to be a 4, is now down to 3. So it's going to be interesting to see what these two can muster in the remaining stages of the race, and see what other pit stops that these two might be thinking about as well as they come out of the final few corners now. Sadly, in his pretty much his home race, the New Zealander still holding it off a bit from Pushka. Out from turn 16 it goes, but Pushka will have the DRS up to his advantage now to try and claw down that gap now to something a lot more manageable now, and his hope now is to try and make an overtake to turn 3. Oh, and Tom just goes a tiny bit sideways.
It looks like Tom is struggling out of nowhere.
He is struggling.
No,
he is absolutely struggling. Yeah, he's making the move, and now allow for Pushka to go ahead and take the lead of the Australian Grand Prix with only just a handful of laps left remaining though. He's advantage, and he's pulling away astonishingly fast.
Wow, that is very unexpected. I don't know if he clipped the throwing from Jan Dragoon and maybe just had damage of it, or wow, but so far it looks like Philip is going to the end. It looks like he's going to the end, and he's catching up very fast, but I don't think fighting now is the decision. You need to think about Norbert. Norbert is 20 seconds behind. It's a lot of time he has to recover, but you cannot forget about that. And one thing, Jose Soriano is catching up. He was 5 seconds some laps ago. He is 2.8 seconds. So if Jose, we saw Jose was the one who saved the tires the most in the first stint, maybe we're seeing a three-way contention, or we're counting Norbert, maybe four, and that would be amazing to see.
The thing between Tom and Philip is the more they fight, the quicker that Soriano and Jakob catches up to them as well, which is something that they'll probably need to be part of that play as well. So it's just a matter of whether you want to fight early and risk losing that gap to other people, or if you rather just hold off and then fight in the closing stages, which in that case I think is exactly what both of them want, and they need to just preserve their tires as much as they can. But look at Soriano though, still to 2.7 seconds and catching.
Yeah, it's amazing the race the rookie is doing, and I think it was in nobody's radar as we see James Knox going for the fastest lap. Also, another point to mention: this year there is no point for the fastest lap, so GPVWC decided to emulate what Formula 1 is doing, and therefore there is no point for the fastest lap of the race. And I think the main question for the remaining of laps is how much push to pass do you have? Because it's not the same if you have 60 seconds rather than you have 20 seconds remaining. And this is something interesting because I read about some people to say, oh, I would love to know how much push to pass is remaining. I think it's nice to not know as well, because then it offers the tactical possibility to the question marks for the race. It keeps everything more hidden, more interesting until the very end. As we see Norbert Jakob catching up on Harry Smith, I don't think this will be a difficult overtake for Norbert Jakob. Maybe he goes for the move now, but I think probably he will wait for the back straight to save as much push to pass as he can. The Hungarian driver, who is also making a huge debut here in GPVWC today, here in round 1 at Australia. Amazing debut for him. We didn't expect anything less from him. We know how great his qualities are from the VEC Championship, doing so many poles and taking such an amazing results. And now he will overtake with ease Harry Smith. I don't think Harry is gonna make it very difficult, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. He wants to take him the long way. No, he actually makes it before the corner. I think Harry Smith, it's in his own battle, trying to keep Rogoza behind, trying to bring home a P5 for his own team. So Norbert now, he needs to catch up 11 seconds to Jose Soriano, and he needs to catch up 14 and 15 seconds to Sadlerley and Pushka in 10 laps. That's a big way to go. It's possible. It's definitely possible. But I'm so surprised that Philip is able to make till the end with the medium tires. This is absolutely mental to me. Like, I wouldn't even think that it was possible to do 30 something laps with the medium compound.
Now, with the discussion that you and I had a couple of days before the race, we were talking about how the best strategy was 2 stops, but with Pushka and Sadlerley, with the amazing tire management that they've had, they managed to make a 1-stop work. Also, a bit of kudos there to Soriano and Jakob with their GPVWC debuts, their 3rd and 4th respectively, pushing that endurance skills to their advantage as well. It's because of those tire management that they got to add to as high a position as they had. Silly deal with Pushka, just with lap traffic ahead, might be a bit of advantage to Sadlerley if he can't clear it off in an optimal way coming up from turn 14. It is going to be the lapped cars. Just hope it doesn't hinder him as much as it possibly can. Going through 15 and 16 now, they will get out of the way from the home stretch, but it has cost just a tiny bit of time between himself and Tom.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Philip will have the arrest now, and it's important that whatever car is in front now, which I'm not sure who it is, gives way as fast as he can right now, because at the end of the day, the most important part of the race is this. I think it's a fusion car. I guess it's Remco Dezou, which is yeah, you're doing your own race, but you cannot interfere in the leading race, otherwise this could carry on a penalty. You need to give way within I think it was 4 corners, so it's important that that Remco gives way soon, because it's clearly that the drivers are within 1 second because they are opening DRS. So you have to give way. If you don't give way now, I'm not entirely sure what Remco is doing right now. I'm pretty sure it's Remco, but this is not okay. This is literally not okay. You need to give way. Of course you need to give way. No, what is going on? Like, you've been holding them for one entire lap, and I'm sorry, this is out of ordinary completely, and I'm not entirely sure what is going on. He has blue flags. We can see it on the stream. Yeah, why? What? I'm not entirely sure what is going on. He has to give go to Tom as well. That's...
Yeah, he's giving it to Tom as well, so he has. That's a bit controversial there from the car behind. It's called because there's a bit of a spin in the background.
I think it was the Gallery 82. No, it was Noah Tuomela. Sorry, it was Noah Tuomela who spun, and this is why it's important to give way fast. You cannot just do mistakes. You cannot hold anyone, and this is a reason for the stewards to have a look at it. But yeah, I think probably Noah just was caught by surprise by the dirty air from the car in front. Yeah, dirty air is massive, and if it that's scary. It's important to not interfere in the race leading cars. So we see Norbert Jakob 8 seconds. He's catching 1 second a lap on Jose Soriano. Probably it's enough space to catch on Jose, but maybe not enough to catch the race leaders.
Still a lot to play for though, still just only 8 laps to go, and with the tires just slowly once again in the early stages from lap 12 was losing their life, we could possibly see a lot of people struggling once again as their mediums/hards are starting to end their lifespan as well. Pushka still leads with only 5/10 between himself and Satherley, with Soriano with only 5 seconds away, slowly catching up but not quite with Jakob. He's now reduced that gap between himself and Soriano to now 7 seconds, but tension now between Krop and Rogoza. Rogoza's done really well to get himself nearly into the top 5 now, but now he needs to defend from Moraes now as they go through turn 1 with the DRS the advantage for Krop. He's probably going to use the other second DRS to get even closer. Will he make a move to turn 3? We're about to find out very shortly. Moling tries to make a move through turn 3, but thinks better of it and just holds back from now. Still no changes made from the positions though, as oh my god, Satherley's got into the lead, and that's Pushka has a struggling much for turn 11 and 12, but Satherley, he's got himself up to the lead.
Wow, he almost loses it by taking the anti-cut of the fast chicane, and right now probably the medium tires are just fading completely, and as anyone would expect, oh wow, Tom was very far away. I think this was a surprise attack with push to pass, and probably he lets him go. He saw the overspeed. There is no point to actually defend at that rate, because then you will go to the inside and you will lose even more time. So we see Dominic Koroshavin looking for an attack on James Knox, actually optimal. Oh, Joseph Hurley, P9 even after the crash. It's amazing that he is able to score points, and this shows how important it is to actually keep the car on track. And Maxime Bulliot, the same. Maxime, this is the drivers that they keep the car on track and they are able to score points. It shows how important this series is to, even if you don't have the pace, there are so many things happening that if you keep the car on track, and see he is on the hard compound, probably went for the one stop. If you keep the car on track, you will have big chances to actually score points. More or fewer, you see a big moment there as well. But I wanted to do a big shout out to Maxime, because he is the driver that you want to bring consistently points to your team. And you can have maybe, and he can improve through the time, maybe his speed, but his point scoring is amazing if you want to have it in your own team.
Yeah, definitely started in P29 at the start from his qualifying absence, get himself up into P12. Surely one of the biggest field gainers. See up in the front there, that was Ragoza having a very big moment again, as now under pressure for Krop once again. Heading out through turn 13 he goes. Oh wow, Krop has his big moment himself as well. And that's the sign that their tires are slowly going away once again. Now for turn 15 and 16 to go. Is there going to be any more moves that Klopp might have out of his sleeve? We're about to find out very shortly as he uses the DRS now.
Yeah, this is going to be a big fight because they are trying to hunt down Harry Smith, which is in P5 with one stopper as well. And Norbert right now is slowing down a bit. He's catching Jose still, but still in a slower pace. And this is very important because at the end, Rogoza will have the higher end at the end of the race, as we see Noah for the fastest lap of the race right now. And this is important for Moritz. He wants to make the move stick as soon as possible.
Oh, no! Wow! No! That's huge! Ragoza's off!
Watch out right now. Okay, he had the space, Wow.
Out of turn 7, he almost had P6 in the bag, but that is a huge moment, and he's lost 2 positions just because of that mistake. It was the unsettlement of...
Wow, that was a crash, yeah.
Wow.
That was a crash, yeah.
That was big. That is huge. And Kopp now needs to defend from Molding for 7th now. For Ragoza, it is too far away with 10 seconds with 4 laps to go. Well, 3 laps to go now, so it's going to be... Oh boy, this is going to be very interesting to see how this musters between those two. Been pretty much behind, well, Walling has been behind Kropp's rear wing for the past good few laps now, and a P6 will surely be something to add to the rookie monster's momentum as they go for turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can...
Oh, Molling's gone off as well through turn 4. So I think that's the sign that the tires are really wearing off now. Because you can just see the amount of, countersteering that they have to do with these drivers and how loose they are. So it is showing the ends of their life. So that means that any overtake that Molling has to make needs to be very careful and calculated. As you can see, he gets just even closer with the DRS now for 11 and 12.
I think Molling has the higher end here because how it looks like. I think he has the chances to overtake Moritz, as we see also Joseph Harlock overtaking Alexander Rogoza and Koro Shaving overtaking James Knox. So I think they need to evaluate if they can catch Harry Smith. I think maybe Harry Smith is out of range right now because 5 seconds to go with so little laps to go. Even though Harry is going for the one stop, is not, I think, ideal. We can see Pushka is still holding on the DRS from Tom Sutherly with a medium tire, which is insane. And then Jose Soriano is losing the pace right now. Probably his tires are not in the greatest shape, and Norbert is catching, but I'm not entirely sure if it's catching fast enough. We will see. It will depend everything on the... as we see, maybe that was a cut, maybe from Robin Mulling. So everything is very open. Everything come close together to the final laps. You can see there Moritz trying to use the whole track for his life. He knows he needs to have a great exit, and we see Robin Mulling catching up so fast. He will have a go now in the fast. Oh my days! Almost losing it. No,
he's off! And that will lose P6! Wow!
Wow.
Too much of the steer from turn 11, and he's lost it. But he's still, compared to Ragoza earlier on, he's still just about holds on to P7, but that's his charge over on Kropp, and Kropp will surely, for Kings Racing, hold P6.
Yeah, I think Kropp will now hold it until the end, and seeing that he's even losing time to the Networks driver, I think these positions are stable, important for Robin now. Okay, you did an amazing race, almost P6, but right now, try to bring it home. Tires are toasted, it's difficult to keep the car on track. I think the rears overheated here, because you see he lost it here, and then when you... Wow, but it was such a sudden snap, it's so weird. Because normally you lose it when you are out of the grip zone, because he was leaving gap to Moritz. You lose it slowly but continuously, and he completely lost it immediately. So I'm not sure how that happened.
Yeah, absolutely. But the tension to the front now between Sally, he's on the best position now to win his home Grand Prix, just ocean away from his home country now. But he just needs to fend off one final charge from Pushka now for the next 10 laps. Yeah, if it's possible, he'll be able to do it now. Just slowly climbing up to lap 7 out of 48 now. Is there going to be any more attempts from Pushka? Is there any more life into those tires that he can at all muster? He's been in the back of Saturday because of the DRS now. Keep being behind him as much as he possibly can now. And I think Saturday knows this. But man, what a dream debut it will be for Brem Grand Prix to win on their debut here in the GPVWC ladder.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the quality that Tom has. He's an old rocker. He has been around the scene for so many years. Same as Pushka. They are the experienced drivers from Superlights. The guys that people think, oh, they were good 4 or 5 years ago. But no, they are not good 4 or 5 years ago. They are good 4 or 5 years ago. They are good today. Oh wait, what happened to Philip? Oh, okay, he just lost it a bit. Okay, I panicked out. I thought
he's still there. He's still there.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still there. He will be one more lap for both of them. I think both of them will be happy, but both of them won the race victory, and they are on the tire limit. Norbert Jakob gave up on the pushing of Jose Soriano, and now these drivers will use all the push to pass remaining to actually try to contest for a one more. Last lap of the first round of Superlights GPVWC 2025. This has been a super hectic race. This has been amazing from start to finish, and yet we have to unfold who is gonna win this Grand Prix. As we see Tom struggling a lot there for the rear traction, and it's important now to not do a mistake now. This corner is the most difficult one. He does it well, but Philip comes out with really good speed. Now all push to pass remaining, you have to use it. You cannot save any bit now, and I think they are doing it. They are either both using it or they're none of them using it because they have nothing left. Tom suddenly goes through the fast section, keeps it within track. There is a lap car ahead, but I don't think they will catch him. They are just
tries to make the move onto Tom, but he just about makes it. Oh my God! Tom's lost it off, and they're gonna go for turn 14 now. But surely I think Tom just had about enough of a gap to come for the final 2 corners, and I think just about defends from Philip to put on an absolute clinical display to win the Australian Grand Prix here for the Superlights. What an amazing season opener for Tom and for Philip.
Wow, the race ending as we see also Jose Soriano completing the podium. Norbert Jakob P4, amazing debuts for the Spaniard and the Hungarian driver. P5 is gonna finish. Harry Smith, I think he didn't cross the finishing line yet, but it will be very close. As we see also Joseph Hurlock, P9 right now, under the pressure of James Knox. He lost the position to Dominic Koroshavin. Fantastic position for Dominic Koroshavin. P8 to start the season. Optimin out P9, P10. And yeah, Joseph Hurlock started losing a bit of the pace at the end. But good result, good recovery from it.
Absolutely. And it'll be an optimal P9 and P10. Ragosa just about, with his mistake, recovers to P11 with... Rosso down in 12th with Bellew, again, improvement for 14th, and Galco rounds off the points finishing. But Sally, though, my word, that was an absolute great defense there on the final lap after just a scary moment for him. But again, it was the pace that he had compared to Pushka that managed to make him get that race win and add to his what is going to presumably be a big collection here for the Superlights.
Wow. What a race. Like, wow. Well, we can see Tom Sadley taking P1 in his home Grand Prix, his debut in Superlights. Philip Pushka, P2. I'm very sure he will be very happy with it. I think there is a lot to study from this race, because if Philip beats so many laps with a medium compound, with a one stop, there is many teams that have to study that and take a look at it. Jose Soriano, P3, really extreme good debut. Norbert Yaka, P4, also amazing debut. Harry Smith, P5, Moritz Kropp, P6. Robin Molling, amazing result for the Rookie Monsters team. P7, amazing result again against all odds from Dominic Koroshavin, P8. Joseph Horlock, P9, James Knox, P10. Amazing results from James Knox reserving for Optiminal instead of Ruben Mechede. Then we'll see P11, Alexander Rogoza. He had this moment in turn 6 and that was a shame for him. Federico Russo, P12 for Alpha Delta. P13 for Lunak, Daniel Kurlock. They were very strong in the preseason testing. Today it wasn't their day. Maxime Bulio, P14, Michal Galka, P15, Matias Canapino just missing the points by 1 place, P16, Victor Borli, P17, David Krupa started very strong, but then he had some issues, P18, Daniel Scott, P19, Renko Diziu, P20.
Over down for 21st with Patrick Magnussen, in 21st with Matthias Peshkan, for 22nd for TTF Racing, ahead of Mirko Lucchini for 23rd. Jan Sakura, after his mistake, will come on 24th with Jack Nichols, Kings Racing in 25th. Noah Tamela in 26th with Jan Dragon, being the first of the DNS followed by Cass Reitfeld, Tom van der Voort and Mike Gnet. My God, that was an absolutely exciting 2025 Superlights season opener. I must say, it had all the drama, all the strategic maneuvers, and all the action, I must say.
Yeah, that was an amazing race, and now we are here waiting for the interviews. I can expect that many drivers now are in excitement or disbelief, depending on how the races went, and they will slowly start joining for interviews. Oh, what are your conclusions, Amir, from this race so far?
If anything, like with how compared the qualifying result was just so close between the top 6, and the fact compared that to the actual race in itself, where we've seen, you know, not only so many lead changes but also so many drivers in contention for the lead, even if they didn't get it. It's really painting the picture here to us in the commentary booth, and as well to all the viewers watching, that this is bound to be nothing more or less than an exciting Superlight season.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I can't really wait to do more races and to watch more races. So far, no one here from the interview. We're here waiting for all of you here, and we're expecting you to come here and chat with us.
Top 3
to the race. Top 3 at least. Come on, guys. It would be amazing to actually to have you here.
But now, for the meantime, just before we get to the interviews, let's discuss now the next race now. So Melbourne, as we've known before, being the street circuit it is, has provided like great racing. But now the next on the calendar in 2 weeks' time is going to be Istanbul Park, and that's going to be, you know, with Melbourne that has its own challenges, Istanbul has a completely different set of challenges. So I'm curious on your take on it, Carlos. What would you say for the drivers that would come out with this in Albert Park? What will they be now looking for in a change for Turkey in the coming weeks?
I think anything can look like it. As I mentioned before the race, the upgrades will dictate a lot in the coming races. I think a lot of teams are taking notes of what it was seen today. I think the most impressive strategy and management, it was from Filip Puška, and that says a lot. I think most of the teams have a lot to learn from Filip. Maybe it was not the ideal to do soft to medium, but definitely it looks like there is a lot to learn, and with the upgrades and everything, pretty much everything can shake up to the next race. So this is a one-off, and this is a very special one, and yeah, that's my opinion on it. So let's see.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just slowly with the interviews starting to rack up. So, with that in mind, and with the next race coming up in Turkey, generally, I've mentioned it before, how Philip Pushka had with his season over in the Super League last year. He has really shown a return in form now for this season. So
We
for
have
that,
Philip
it's
Pushka for the interview, and that's a great. Oh wait, he moved. I saw him in the wait for here interview, and now suddenly he's not there. But I can grab Tom Sutherley if you don't mind. So I will bring him here. Hello, Tom.
Hello.
So here we are in the interview, Kevin, right now. First of all, congratulations for your race win. Tell us a bit about your race.
Yeah, thank you, Carlos. So I wasn't expecting to win or even come top 10 or top 20, to be honest. So it's a huge surprise for me. And, so we worked out in testing that one stop is the way to go in terms of traffic and wear and so on. So I did a pretty long first stint, but Pushka went even longer than I, which was surprising. And went to the hard tire and then just stayed in DRS train, stay out of trouble, keep the pace up, keep the tire in check and get to the finish. So that's all it was. And I was really surprised to see Pushka keep on going on the medium. It was insane. Like, I'd never seen it before. So well done to him, and well done to Jose for the podium.
Yeah, there is a lot to study from that. It was a super surprising thing to see. And I'm speechless from the race end. The race end was also hectic with the push-to-pass management and with the last try that Philip had on you in the last corners. How did you manage that at the very last lap?
Yeah, so the main passing opportunity is into the fast chicane. So I used all of my push to pass on that main straight to keep him behind me, because I think that's the easiest pass on the track. And once you're through there, you can block lines and defend. It was tricky though, because my tyres were gone on that last lap, especially on the rear end. And the last few corners were really dodgy. I was drifting all over the place. So I think he had some boost left over for the main straight onto the line. And he almost got me. So yeah, a very good finish. Good fun.
A race win to start the season off, and I'm sure you'll be very proud to have won very close to your home in New Zealand. With that first win, however, how would you say your momentum is now feeling, not just for you, but for your debutant team?
Oh, I think, Cass will come back from this, and we'll just work on it. And who knows, every track's different, and every weekend's different, so we'll just have to keep on practicing and not take anything for granted and just keep on pushing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time, Tom. Huge congratulations on your race win, and all the best to you for the rest of the races.
Yeah, thanks. And pretty good car there. I like the car. It's pretty good for once. Cheers.
Cheers, Tom. Let's track Philip Pushka finishing P2 in the Grand Prix. Hello, Philip. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thanks.
Good. It was an amazing race for you. You started from pole, a great qualifying result. It was super tight between the top three, and then in the race you managed to finish second after recovering after not the greatest race start. How was it for you?
I think the result is very good. In the end, probably could have been the win, but Dragoon crashed out as well. So as soon as that happened, I wanted to secure the podium, to get on the podium again after several years in this league. So it was fine for me. I think if I would have pushed a little bit more earlier, could have been more tight. But in the end, the tires were very finished at the end, as you could imagine, on the medium. So in hindsight, probably should have gone for the hards, but then again, maybe I would have not been in the situation I was in the end. So it is what it is. I think P2 is a good way to start the season. Let's looking forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And what can we expect for the upcoming races? Because now the upgrades taking place, as you already know, you are super experienced in GPVWC. And what can we expect for the upcoming races from you and your team?
Well, I think it's going to be very interesting, the philosophies and the way we were going to upgrade the car and others. So let's wait and see. I think if we could have been in the top 10 on a constant basis, I think it would be good. For me, it's a nice comeback again, but I'm not too excited yet because I want to be on the top on a consistent base again on a level that I'm satisfied with. So let's keep pushing.
Perfect.
Final thoughts for my end. After what was the Super League, from your performance last season, great return on form. You've talked about it before about your consistency. Looking for the rest of the calendar and forward ahead after your great pole position, how are you faring in terms of your championship chances here for the Superlights?
I'm not thinking about that yet. I think it's very, very early to think about that. I think the next 5-6 races would be decisive. If I can manage to get the pace where I can fight for a podium on a level I'm satisfied with, like let's talk about every second race on the podium. I think it's possible, but you have to be on the top every race, or you have to be on your game every 2 weeks or so. So I think it's my turn to push, get up to a level I was back like 10 years ago. A very different time, very different people, very different mods, but I think there's some opportunities to get some glory back.
10 years
Congratulations
ago, I
on
was
your. Yeah, that's true. Congratulations on clinching the first pole position of the Superlight season, and phenomenal display for P2. Hoping to see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, Philip.
Perfect. We have the chance to interview either Harry Smith or Moritz Gropp. That's your choice, Amir.
I'll let you decide, Carlos. To be honest, just one more.
Just one more. I don't want to decide because Harry Smith is part of Metric, so I want you to decide it because I don't want to look biased, of course.
Okay. We'll bring Harry Smith here because I have questions for him as well.
Okay. Hello, Harry.
Harry.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Harry?
Yes. Hello.
Okay. I think Amir, I'll let you do this one.
So having the start on your season with a very good performance, you saw yourself around midway through the race with a lot of the drivers kind of, getting a bit squabbly. I want to ask the question on how did you manage to preserve your tires so well?
Well, I sort of going into the race, I said I wasn't going to do the one stop, and I just sort of kind of managed to keep it in a DRS train till like lap 16, and then Jose was about 3 seconds in front of me and was like, oh, I'm gonna pit this lap. So I'm like, right, we'll have to go one lap longer. And at that point, there's no point in doing a 2-stop really. What, at lap 17, 18, if you've gone that far on the softs. So I was just like, I guess I'll just go for the hards, and that's what I did, and turned out all right. Just drove pretty chilled the second stint. It would have been nicer if I'd practiced the actual strategy, but you live and learn.
Yeah, absolutely. With you and your teammates top high positions now, it's crucial points for Netrix in the Constructors Championship, but not on top of that as well, important upgrade points. So with that in mind, how would you imagine the rest of the first quarter of the season will go for you and your team?
Well, this is the only round where we don't have upgrades, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Obviously, next round people will be taking different engines as well. Maybe some people might take a fresh one. So there's more factors that are going to come into play than today. I think we have a good base with the setup to work on. So it's just about trying to maximize our own results based on our own performance. And wherever we end up, we'll be. As long as we put the work in, not much else really matters, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Carlos, any questions?
Well, first of all, congratulations, Harry. And as you mentioned, it's difficult to manage a race when you improvise, but I think it's positive always when you when you have this flexibility to adapt to the new situations, right? And I have no questions. Just congratulations, and have a great night.
Thank you. Cheers. You too. Thanks for commentating, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, well,
the
commentating
best.
is an understatement. We shouted too much. We shouted so much.
See ya.
Okay. See ya. I think with this we can close the stream for today. Thank you, Amir, for such an amazing commentary today. You were absolutely amazing. Thank you also, Fabian, for the cameras. You were great also. You were on spot. You covered us so many times, covering us the action that we were missing maybe in the commentary. So that was awesome as well. And thank you to all the viewers today to be here watching this amazing race we had today. Remember, in 2 weeks' time, we are returning to Istanbul Park, which will be a super interesting race where all the GPVWC environment takes place. It takes place the upgrades, it takes place the engine selection, it takes place everything. So it will be super exciting, a track which offers also good overtaking opportunities. So with all this said, thank you, Amir, for the commentary today. Thank you, Fabian, and see you in the next one.